Repeat after me. It is not my job to compensate for the fact that you haven't hired enough people to help keep this company running, and I will not destroy my mind and body to do so.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
I love my work ethic, but I'm so sick and fucking tired of every single employer I've ever had pushing me 10 times harder than anybody else. I have coworkers that sit on their ass and do nothing and get paid for it. And yet I'm busting my ass all day, and my employers, my bosses, my managers are always so much harder on me than anybody else. So I told my boss today, I said, I don't understand why you're so much harder on me than anybody else here. And he's like, Lauren, you want to know why I'm so much harder on you than anybody else here? And I was like, is it because I'm more than capable of doing my job and you want to see me do well? And he's like, yeah, exactly. I want to see you succeed. I'm trying to set you up for success. And I know that you can do it, so I push you harder. Why? Why does it always have to be fucking me? That's why I'm so tired of being a good worker, because I don't get praised for being a good worker. I get pushed harder, and it makes me not want to do my job.
I remember when it used to be so easy to find another job when your current job was just not cutting it no more. Because the amount of patience that I have to develop now to keep my current job, to not quit, is beyond me because of how hard it is to find another job. I've been in my current job for 4 months, keep in mind, and it feels like I've been here for 10 years because the amount of work that they literally trying to pile onto us is ridiculous. I've applied for one specific job role. Now they're trying to give me another job role that I'm not even getting fucking compensated for? You gotta be fucking kidding me. And on top of that, they're not even training us enough to know what the fuck is going on. The minute I ask a supervisor or a manager a question, they hit me with the, I'm not sure, let me get back to you, let me find out more information. How the fuck you don't know? And y'all throwing us into the motherfucking pit without giving us the proper tools to know how to fucking navigate this whole new road that y'all giving us that we're not even getting fucking paid for. I'm assuming that jobs know that the job market right now is fucking ridiculous, that it's hard for people to get new jobs, that they're just throwing us different job roles, different duties because of how hard it is to find another job. So they're taking advantage of us. The amount of fields that I've been in, I've never had to deal with no bullshit that I'm dealing with right now. And that shit is just killing my soul to pieces. Every single day I have to fight the urge to not quit. And I have to fight the urge of not shipping out all my shit and being like, yo, respectfully, get out the mud. I'm done. Like, y'all losing me.
It takes a lot to burn out your best employee, okay? That worker you depend on, that you go to for everything. The moment you burn them out and they realize it, that they're overworked and underpaid, I'm going to pray for that company, because that employee is going to turn into a brand new person. They're not even going to recognize themselves at the end of the day, because they're so tired, they're so overworked. They've been like doing most of the work by themselves and not saying anything, okay? Because they're trying to be a team player. They're trying to do the right thing in their head, right? But now they're tired. Now they're exhausted. They haven't seen payoff. There's really nothing that's motivating them to continue to keep doing all that extra stuff. So now they're only going to do the bare minimum. They're going to do whatever is necessary for them to keep that job. And the managers are going to start to say, oh, something's going on. Is everything okay? And it's like, yeah, everything's just dandy. Okay. I'm doing my job now. I'm not doing the 12 jobs that I've been doing. Okay. So for any company that has completely burned out an amazing worker, I'm going to continue to pray for you, because you just lost somebody really, really great, and you guys should have appreciated them when you realized what they were doing.
Should be one of the first people in the office and one of the last to leave if you are in the first.
Absolutely not. Do not do that, because all that's going to do is burn you out and show your managers and supervisors that you have terrible boundaries with work. So what will they do? They will take advantage of that and give you tasks that are not part of your work description. So then you're going to be doing work that you're not actually getting paid for, and simply you're going to be taken advantage of. Maybe that mindset might have worked back in the day, but that is not the world we live in today. Having a good work ethic doesn't get you promoted anymore, but you know what does? Being friendly with folks in leadership. I have seen plenty of wonderful overperforming employees get passed up for a promotion because leadership wanted to promote the one that they all liked instead. So yeah, do not overwork yourself. Don't burn yourself out. If you want to move up, just become friendly with leadership. It's the quickest way to do it. Because as soon as a promotional position is open, the first person they're going to think of to send it to is the one that they like.
Overworking yourself for your employer will never make them respect you.
I wish I had known that sooner in my own corporate career, because I was the person for a long time saying yes to every single meeting and task and saying, yes, of course I'll stay late. What does earn you respect? It's being thoughtful about what projects you say yes to. It's being strategic about what meetings you attend. And it's being vocal about the direction you want your career to go and insisting on follow through with that direction. You are the chief negotiator of your career. Just say no to overwork.
I have to get on here and rant because I literally bursted out in tears during this coaching plan once again that this manager wants to give me. And he kept saying, and I'm not taking, it's not personal. It's not personal. This is just how it is. And I'm just trying to figure it out. At this point, I feel like it is personal. It is. You're purposely trying to find anything and everything to eliminate me. And I don't have the capacity anymore. I've been miserable for 9 months. At this point, I'd rather be miserable for 9 months because I'm giving birth. I'm creating life inside of me rather than being miserable and exhausted and stressed the fuck out over a job that doesn't pay enough to be stressed. I'd rather be pregnant at this point and deal with a baby that I'm carrying for 9 months and delivering it than to deal with this bullshit ass job. There comes a point in time where you have to just say fuck it and give up. This job is mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausting. To the point that I told him, at this point, I'm probably going to put my 2 weeks in. And honestly, I don't know what information you're looking for me to improve. I have nothing for you. I'm going to try my best. Is there anything else? Because I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to clock out. And that's exactly what I did. Exactly what I did. Because no.
One of the biggest gut punches as an eldest daughter is realizing that you didn't truly get to enjoy a childhood where you were a kid and you got to play. You maybe were raised to be the responsible one, the one who was praised for achieving. You were the extra parent for the younger siblings. You were essentially conditioned to be an adult, but you were still a kid, and you didn't just get to be a kid. In the workplace, that's why I believe that as eldest daughters, the goal is not for us to work harder and to prove ourselves, because you are already so capable, you're already on top of things, you are one of the best people on the team, you're a great employee, so that's not even a question. It's really easy for a company to burn someone like that out because you're available for everyone all the time, you are fixing people's problems, you are the go-to person to plug in all the holes. You're just working really hard and keep grinding until you burn out. The goal is not for you to work harder, it's for you to actually work smarter, to prioritize high impact by doing less, by prioritizing not taking life so seriously and focusing on play outside of work as well, so that you can heal your inner child, to receive help instead of to always be the one who fixes and helps everybody else, to delegate and to show people how to help themselves so that they're not relying on you to fix their problems. They're essentially going to learn how to change the tire when it's flat on their car instead of you just going in and replacing the tire. Because when you are working harder and trying to prove yourself, you're essentially just perpetuating the cycle of being the burnt out eldest daughter, which we have been conditioned to just do from such a young age. So in order for us to heal as a collective, it's about working smarter. How can we receive more help? How can we set boundaries, say no? And that actually is going to lead to more respect, because you're not going to be someone that people can take advantage of. You know how to prioritize, you know how to set boundaries, and people are going to be held accountable instead of you being the one that fixes everybody's problems.
When I first started here, I found myself trying to be helpful and take initiative. And the lady that I was on orientation with came to me later and said, "Don't ever do that again." The Jamaican lady, Lorna, shout out to her, my OG. And she said, whatever you make practice will become your job. And so said, so done. I have a coworker who I love so much. Like, he's not even a coworker. We're literally friends outside of work. He's like a family friend now. And quite literally, he does not say no to people. He is so helpful. He's so loving, so kind. Everybody loves him. But with that, people take advantage of him because of that. He now takes on tasks that is supposed to be a 2-man job that has now become a 1-man job. I literally at one point had to bully him out of doing said assignment, and he stopped for a little bit. But what did they do? They came back and they asked him again. Why? Because they know that he won't refuse. They know that he won't say no. They know with a little bit of begging and pleading that he will do it. And now again, I just passed him, and he's doing the assignment that's meant for 2 people. 1 person is doing it, and it literally kills me because it doesn't matter how kind, how sweet, how nice you are, they still will take advantage of you. And then at the end of the day, you're literally just a number to these companies, because once you drop down and die, all they're going to do is replace you. Whatever you make practice will become your job. Stop overworking yourself. This job is killing you. And I would like to add that they be having the money. They be having the money for overtime. They be having the money to pull people in, and they choose not to. They choose to overwork and abuse the workers that are already here. Why? Because they can't dip into their yearly bonus. They won't even pay you extra for doing said job.
It is crazy to me how these firms will use the best employees and burn them out. Like, really, dude? He works hard or she works hard. They are working for you. They do their job well. And instead of rewarding them, you give them more work. Why in the world would you do that? Just hire more people. You should appreciate your best workers, your good workers who are on time and they do a great job at work. You should reward those type of people, not punish them with more work. If you give them more work, then increase the pay along with the work, so it's worth it for them. The best employees get treated like trash at any company. The best people is a sad reality of work.
So I want to make a quick video about, in response to this comment, which was about from a video that I posted about the dark side of good girl syndrome and how it really backfires for us in career and professional settings, because we overcommit, we overperform, and then we look around feeling like everyone's taking us for granted, and we get really resentful and angry about the whole thing. And this comment is so potent and so true. I just wanted to highlight it here. It says, I overworked and picked up everything in my first office job. When I requested for a raise, I was laughed at. And I quiet quit, and they fired me. First of all, if you relate to this scenario, drop a comment so that this amazingly brave person doesn't feel alone, because this is a very common story. This is something that when I have a brand new employee starting a job, I literally warn them about this exact scenario, because I learned this also the very hardest way. So rewind to me as a 20-something, and I am working for a business consulting firm, and I am partner support. So there are 3 partners in the small practice that I worked in, and I am running 98% of any document that goes in front of a client. So I'm running all the financials, I'm doing all the reports, I'm doing all the interviews, I'm doing all of the research, and I'm presenting it, and then I'm in the meeting. So I'm not only creating all the documents, but I have to be in all the meetings. And I was averaging about 6 hours of meetings per day, which is insane when you think of it. So what did my overperforming little self do? I got to the office at 6 a.m. so that I could have 3 hours before anybody walked into the office where I could slam all my work out, and then I could just go to meetings. And then I would stay after and make sure that I got all my information downloaded from my brain, and I wouldn't even get home till 9 o'clock at night. And I would work on weekends. And I was bitter, resentful, and when I asked for a raise, I was entitled as fuck. And honestly, like, I don't see that as a bad thing. It didn't go over super well, because I basically had to say, but don't you see, I'm doing like 3 people's jobs and I'm being compensated as 1 person. And I remember my boss, who in retrospect was a really good mentor for me, but it was a tough lesson. He looked at me and he said, well, whose fault is that? Who came in here and worked the job for 3 people and acted like it was normal? And I was so pissed when he said that, because I was like, what the f- are you kidding me? Like, you should be so grateful that I'm here busting my ass for you. But he really flipped it on me. And he said, you know, you're the one that taught me that you working this much was normal for you. And if it's not normal for you, then you've done yourself a great disservice. So if that fired you up, that fired me up years ago. I ended up quitting later and moving on to become my own entrepreneur and build my own business, which was in retrospect a really good idea. But the point still is, the most important thing I tell people when they start to work for me is, do not come in hot and teach me that 100% is what's normal for you, because it's just not sustainable.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
What's so funny is I literally just had a call with my manager yesterday, and I was telling her how swamped I was this week, and then today she's giving me a list of 150 people, and she's like, hey, like, just find their emails. It's just the CEOs of fucking companies. And then she's like, oh, there's probably like some AI thing that will do it. No, there's privacy. I don't have time for this. Like, I'm beyond exhausted. I'm literally telling you that I do not have time to fucking write an article, and now I have to look up 150 people's fucking emails. Oh, Brenda, I know you have 1,000 things that you're doing this week, but it's okay. Just look up a list of 150 different people and find their emails. There's some fucking AI thing you can do. Oh, yeah? Yeah, there's an AI thing. Guess what? I'm doing that, and it gives me the fucking email that's behind the paywalls. What use is that for anyone? It's no use, actually. And then I'm getting told, oh, well, maybe you're doing it wrong. Are you asking for the email address? No, I'm asking for their fucking social security number. Like, what the fuck do you think I'm doing? I don't have time for this.
Somebody quit like a year ago. Thought they were going to replace them. They did not. They recently fired someone. Thought they were going to replace them. They did not. They demoted someone. Gave me their responsibilities that they were paid for a lot more than I am. Cut hours. Cut our commission in half. And want me to work the same amount of hours with more responsibilities and less people for the same pay. No. You're going to pay me what I'm worth. And if I had to work overtime to get that pay, so be it. And the excuse is we can't afford another person. A quadrillion, billion, whatever company can't afford another person, but we have 1.5 people over here. Okay. All right.
The job market is so bad that your job is overworking you and still paying you the same salary.
If you're in one of those jobs right now that's overworking you, it's probably one of the toughest positions to be if you're looking for a new job. Because the main reason they're overworking you is because they probably got rid of some of your team members and never replaced them. So now you're doing 2, 3, 4 other people's jobs all for the same salary. And on the flip side, you can't be looking for a new job because looking for a new job takes effort, when all your effort, all your energy is going towards your current job. So if you're in that situation right now, I know you want to quit without anything lined up, but do not do that. Do these 2 things instead. The first thing you should do is go up to your manager, tell them all the different things you've been working on, and ask for that raise. And second, while that's in the process, while that's being worked, that's when you go look for other jobs. Because best case scenario, you get another offer, which you can then leverage to get even more money here, or you can take this new raise to leverage for the new offer that you're going to get. Do those 2 things.
If you're doing the job of 2 people, do what you can and clock out. Do not stress yourself out. Do not have anxiety over this situation. This is very temporary, and you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself first. So realize that it's a temporary situation, get your experience, and get out of there. If you need help with this, visit resumatic.com. We're here to help you with resume revamps, career coaching, and much more.
Here's exactly what I would say to my boss if I felt overworked and taken advantage of, but in the past my boss had kind of said like, well, this is what you need to do and you need to work more than the 40 hours a week in order to keep this job. And I'm making this video, 1, because it's important, but 2, I've made a lot of videos recently saying like, give your manager the benefit of the doubt, have the conversations with them, don't just quiet quit, don't like, just decide to mentally check out on your job because you're burnt out. Have the conversations and communicate. But what I've left out in those videos is that can be so difficult. One, because the boss is in the power position, you're not. And two, because a lot of these bosses are super unreasonable and don't get it. And they have their own stresses and they're just trying to get through work themselves. And it's really hard out there. So here's exactly what I would do. Okay, so main thing to remember is approach your boss asking for help and partnership, not in a complaining or accusatory way. That is like just the most important theme throughout this entire conversation. So set up a one-on-one meeting with your boss. Hopefully you already have them weekly or monthly, but just set one up. And I would start off by saying, I want to discuss how I can be more effective in the role and do it in a way that's more sustainable for me long-term to have the best output for myself and for the company. I really like saying sustainable because that is the point. It's not sustainable. So you don't have to say like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm burned out. You totally can, but I would just say it needs to be sustainable for both parties because that's the truth. Then I would say, so first question, like before we get into it and I explain more of what I'm wanting to talk about, could you just tell me and clarify for me, how many hours a week do you see this role actually being? And what would you say is like the hours that you would expect me or want me to work? And I'm asking that for two reasons. One, they're probably not going to say like 60, 70 hours. So it forces them to say, no, I think you have 40, maybe 45 hours if you're working till 6. But so it forces that to start the conversation. So now they're forced to help figure out how can I get what I need to get done in from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. Secondly, if they do say 60, 70, 80 hours a week, that's a different conversation. We can do another video on that, but it's important to know where you're starting. And then I would literally say like, okay, things are taking me 50, 60, whatever it is, hours a week, and I'm not getting breaks, and it's just feeling not super sustainable for me. So can we have a conversation for you to help me either prioritize, figure out how to get faster at stuff, etc. You could list out for them things you're doing above the job description. Again, not in a complaining way, but saying like, this is everything I'm doing. What is most important? What do you see as success in the role? What can I do to make the team most effective and also be sustainable? And going in with an open heart, open mind, let them help you. And if they can't and you really do your best, then it may be time for a boss change.
Hi everyone, we're not meant to live life like this. The fact that we are so overworked, we are so exhausted, the politics of exhaustion are so intentional. They want us to stay exhausted so we don't have the capacity to either create a new world and a new life or even just imagine other possibilities. We're getting up at 6 a.m. if not earlier, getting dressed, getting ready, commuting, working till 6 p.m., commuting back home, making dinner, doing a little laundry, sitting on the couch and numbing out maybe for 2 minutes, and then going the fuck to sleep and doing it all over again. And then when you throw kids into the mix, how do parents do it? How do parents do it? I am so exhausted. We are all so exhausted.
In my personal opinion, I think that the only time that you should go truly above and beyond at work is working for yourself. That is the only time. Put 100% into your own stuff. Put 110% into your own thing. That is the only time. Do not give these firms your 100%. All you do is you do your job and you go home. That's it. In your own personal thing, you give yourself 100%. You try your hardest. You do all. For other people, you just do your job and you go home.
All of what you want, but I've learned I just have to do what's best for me. People will get up here all day and be like, you're so lazy, you could be doing more, you should be working more. Do y'all not realize I've been working my ass off for the past 2 years? This is the first time in my life where I've actually been able to sleep at night. Not even at night, just sleep. At one point, I wasn't even sleeping for 3 to 4 days. And even after those 4 days of me just hustling straight, no sleep, no rest, no breaks, nothing, I was still getting only like 4 hours of sleep and then going right back to it. It was hell. It destroyed my mental health and it destroyed my physical health. I was always sick. I was always having problems. My hands was always bleeding and shed, bruises all over my leg. Like, I just felt my fucking worst. And I didn't feel like life was worth living, to be honest, at that point. So that's what I mean. You gotta do what's best for you, because like I know people be up here and applaud. Oh yeah, you got 7-8 jobs. Yeah, you're such a hustler. Go you. No, don't go me, because I'm about to go up to damn heaven, bitch. Because I'm fucking exhausted. I'm beyond exhausted. Like, it was really bad. I mean, I get it, but I'm in between state too. People don't realize that. Like, I've been in school for the past 6 months. I'm in school right now because I want to work smarter, not harder. I don't want to keep having to bust my ass working 4 fucking jobs, because like that's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable to work 7 days a week, 2 to 3 jobs in a day. It's just not. And even if it is sustainable for some people, that's not the lifestyle that I want. I would literally rather go fucking live in another country in a jungle and have none of the luxuries I have here than to have luxuries here and have to work that hard to keep them, because it's just not sustainable. I mean, but teach y'all, if y'all want to work yourselves to death and y'all think that shit is cute, and let's glorify hustle culture and people working themselves to the brink of nothing where they want to suicide and, you know, take themselves off the planet, have at it, because that's not the lifestyle I want for myself. But that was how I felt when I was working that fucking hard.
I'm here to tell you that these jobs will run their good employees into the ground. Don't let them do it. Oh, Tanika, could you just, oh, Tanika, could you? No, Tanika can't. Tanika can't do it. Let me tell you, don't let these jobs run you into the ground, bro. If you got sick time, call out. If you need a mental health day, call out. If you got PTO, call out. Do not let these jobs try to tell you that because you're so good at what you do, they want to use you, and can you train this, and can you? No, I cannot. I can't. I'm here to do my job and my job only. Then when it comes time to reward you, they want to throw you a pizza party. I need cash dollars. I need cash dollars. Since I'm such a good employee, reward me with cash dollars. Give me a raise. I don't want a pizza party. A pizza party is not for me.
Good afternoon. I don't know who needs to hear this, but we need to normalize not suffering in silence for these jobs, okay? Like, one thing about me, I'ma quit a fucking job. I'm not suffering nowhere for nobody for no paycheck. I'm sorry, like, no, I'm not. I matter just as much as my job matters. Half of these jobs don't even be appreciating you. They look at you like a piece of shit. You just another employee and you're replaceable. That's how they feel about you. If that job is not making you happy or satisfying you, you need to leave that fucking job. I'm so sick of people in these stigmas that make you feel like you're supposed to work it out because it's a fucking job. No. We are not in the slave days. Quit that fucking job. Your mental health is very important. Your life is important. Your kids are important. Your family is important. Why the fuck is that job more important than anything? No, it's fucking not. Like, I get it. You need a paycheck to survive and pay the bills. But is a paycheck more important than your health? Is a paycheck more important than your feelings? Is a paycheck worth you being disrespected and degraded? That's why when I had that shitty ass job at Applebee's and they was treating me like shit, I left that fucking job. I'm not staying nowhere I'm not appreciated. I don't come into work to get shitted on and disrespected. I'm not with that shit. I'm gonna go where I'm appreciated at, period. Fuck. Same way I filled out this app, I'm gonna fill out another one. Same way I got that job, I'm gonna get another one. And another one if I need to. Stop suffering in silence and leave these shitty ass jobs. Point blank, period.
You have a job, the job market is so bad that your job is overworking.
Yes, this is true. And as someone who studied industrial and organizational psychology, this is related to a phenomenon that a lot of high performing employees typically face, which is performance punishment. And that is when you show yourself to be so competent and so efficient that you just receive more and more and more work, oftentimes without any additional pay or recognition. Truth be told, there's no real way to undo performance punishment, because once high performing employees start to explain that they're nearing burnout, or once they try to start creating boundaries around how much work they can produce, all of a sudden senior leadership doesn't understand and has their panties in a bunch. It's almost like the best way to get away from performance punishment is to leave the organization or find a different position within the organization and set boundaries, a standard for your level of work. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that sometimes when someone leaves an organization, what they'll do is they'll take pieces of that person's role and spread it amongst the masses. You know, that's how you end up doing Tom, Dick, and Harry's job without additional pay, additional stipend, or recognition because they tack it on as other duties as assigned, when senior leadership knows damn well that there's supposed to be a whole nother body, a whole nother human resource doing the job.
Just a heads up, in the next coming year, I will not be humble. Humble has left me overworked and underpaid too many blood clot times. No, I am one day off of Kanye and I need to start showing it.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.